SA has a good news. Their weight loss drug has changed someone's life and helped them lose 40 pounds.
The support for Trump in rural America is a key factor in his resilience.
A Georgia judge plans to hold a hearing in February on allegations against Willis.
Mike Johnson, a House Speaker, has stuck with a budget deal, rejecting GOP hardliners.
The U.S. accuses Texas of blocking Border Patrol from a migrant crossing.
A powerful winter storm is expected to batter much of the U.S. this weekend. Bank earnings show that Americans' finances remained solid last year.
JP Morgan posts its most profitable year yet. Citigroup plans to cut 20,000 jobs as part of its restructuring plan. White-collar jobs are still being trimmed. Stocks are forever, but now might not be the time to buy.
U.S.-led strikes in Yemen highlight the risk of a broader conflict. The U.S. is attacking the Houthis, but the reason is unclear.
The Fed posts its largest annual operating loss due to efforts to stimulate the economy and combat inflation.
China sinks deeper into its worst deflation in years, raising trade tensions.
Artifact, the news aggregation startup from Instagram's co-founders, is shutting down. This is bad news as it indicates the company was not successful and had to wind down its operations.
Instagram has cut 60 technical program manager positions, eliminating a layer of management at the company. This can be seen as both good and bad news. It may be good for the company's efficiency and cost-cutting measures, but it is bad for the employees who lost their jobs.
Threads, an app developed by Instagram, is planning to integrate with the Fediverse, including Mastodon. This is good news as it shows the app's commitment to expanding its reach and providing more options for users.
Google plans to allow more Real Money games on the Play Store. This is good news for game developers and players who enjoy Real Money gaming options. Discord, a popular online platform, laid off 170 people due to financial difficulties. This is bad news as it indicates the company's struggles and the impact it has on its employees.
AI OpenAI changes policy to allow military applications. OpenAI has made changes to its usage policy, allowing military applications of its technologies. This can be seen as bad news as it raises ethical concerns about the potential use of AI in warfare.
CES 2024. Everything revealed so far, from NVIDIA and Sony to the weirdest reveals and helpful AI. No specific company mentioned.
How to pick a name for your AI startup. No specific company mentioned. CES 2024. The biggest transportation news, from Honda's EVs to Hyundai's air taxi ambitions. No specific company mentioned.
From voice synthesis to fertility tracking, here are some actually helpful AI products at CES. No specific company mentioned.
Amgen has emerged as a potential suitor for Cytokinetics, according to reports. This news is seen as good for Cytokinetics because it suggests that there is interest from another major player in the pharmaceutical industry. Novartis, on the other hand, has decided to pull away from the potential acquisition, which is seen as a negative development for Cytokinetics. Novartis has been actively pursuing deals recently, making acquisitions and entering research collaborations. The decision to drop the potential Cytokinetics buy goes against this trend and may have implications for both companies involved.
Lilly CEO David Ricks has good news for the biopharma industry. He believes that GLP-1s and AI, artificial intelligence, will play a significant role in shaping its future. GLP-1s are a type of medication used to treat type 2 diabetes by stimulating insulin production in the body. Ricks anticipates that these medications will continue to be important in managing the disease and improving patient outcomes. Additionally, Ricks highlights the importance of AI in advancing drug discovery and development. AI technologies can analyze large data sets and identify patterns, enabling researchers to more effectively identify potential drug targets and accelerate the drug development process. In summary, Ricks believes that GLP-1s and AI will contribute positively to the biopharma industry, offering new treatment options for patients and enhancing the efficiency of drug discovery and development. FDA GLP-1 drugs. No link to suicidal thoughts. The FDA, Food and Drug Administration, has released a statement stating that there is no proven connection between GLP-1 drugs and suicidal ideation. GLP-1 drugs are medications that act on the GLP-1 receptor to control blood sugar levels in patients with type 2 diabetes. Although the FDA could not completely dismiss the possibility of a small risk of suicidal thoughts associated with GLP-1 receptor agonists, they have found no concrete evidence linking these drugs to such ideation. The FDA plans to further evaluate the available evidence to gain a better understanding of any possible risks associated with GLP-1 drugs. This news is reassuring for patients who rely on GLP-1 drugs to manage their diabetes. However, it is important to note that the FDA will continue to monitor and assess the safety of these medications to ensure the well-being of patients.
JPM 2024, a biopharmaceutical company, has recently shared optimistic news about the year ahead. This positive sentiment suggests that the industry may have a promising year after a challenging 2023.
Obesity has been a growing concern worldwide, and recent advancements in oral agents offer hope in addressing this epidemic. Two medications that have gained significant attention are Wegovy and Zepbound. These medications have shown promising results in combating obesity and have garnered widespread media coverage and discussion in the healthcare community. This increasing attention emphasizes the urgent need to find effective treatments for obesity and take proactive measures in addressing this global health issue.
Elena Kondarakis, head of the Orexin franchise at Takeda Pharmaceuticals, has good news regarding their Orexin program for treating narcolepsy. In an interview with Biospace, she shared a preview of the progress and future plans for the program. Biogen has announced good news that they are handing back the rights of the multiple sclerosis MS drug Fampyra to Acorda. This decision comes amid declining sales for Biogen. Fampyra, also known as Ampyra, was originally acquired by Biogen in 2009 and is currently being marketed under the brand name Fampyra in international markets.
Biospace is providing updates from the 42nd annual JP Morgan Healthcare Conference in San Francisco.
Gold Colloid Co. has a good news because they have entered into a strategic agreement with Hangzhou Clongene Biotech. This partnership aims to bring rapid in vitro diagnostic tests and raw materials from Hangzhou Clongene Biotech to the U.S. market. Gold Colloid Co. is a well-known distributor of medical and diagnostic products in the United States, while Hangzhou Clongene Biotech is a respected Chinese manufacturer of IVD rapid tests and raw materials.
Pumas AI has a good news because they have made 2 new hires who are distinguished leaders in their field. This will help the organization in their mission of transforming data into life-saving decisions with remarkable speed.
Wisp brings electronic larynx voice boxes into this millennium. Good news. Wisp is working to improve communication for individuals with speech impediments by updating electronic larynx voice boxes. Zoe Care uses existing Wi-Fi signals to detect falls in care homes. Good news. Cherish Health introduced the $300 Serenity appliance that uses radar to cover a whole house with fall detection, providing safety and autonomy for the elderly.
MyMemo adds some Pilzazz to automatic medicine dispensers. Good news. MyMemo aims to improve drug adherence and prevent accidental overdoses with their automatic pill dispensers. Smart mollusks, yes, smart mollusks, could watch our waterways 24/7 for pollution. Good news. A French startup is utilizing clams, mussels, and oysters to monitor water pollution, providing continuous surveillance of waterways.
Accessibility startup Augmental is working on head tracking and silent speech. Good news. Augmental is developing technologies that allow individuals to control their devices through head movements or subtle tongue shifts, enabling voiceless communication.
Commerce Pitch has a teardown of Cortex's $10 million seed deck, pointing out that it has some missing elements, but also gets some things right.
There has been a significant amount of venture capital investment in consumer tech and consumer packaged goods companies. Good.
Amazon's Just Walk Out technology now works with employee badges, allowing customers to skip the cashier line.
Sway, formerly ReturnMates, raised $19.5 million in a Series A funding round to manage e-commerce returns using a two-way communication platform and a network of driver partners. Good.
Google Cloud launched new Gen AI products for retailers, aiming to inject generative AI into retail.
The article titled, "Is India Done with Crypto?" reports that internet service providers in India are blocking apps like Binance that are flagged as operating illegally in the country. This is bad news for the crypto industry as it indicates further regulatory crackdowns and restrictions on the use of cryptocurrencies in India. The article titled, "Is India Done with Crypto?" reports that internet service providers in India are blocking apps like Binance that are flagged as operating illegally in the country. This is bad news for the crypto industry as it indicates further regulatory crackdowns and restrictions on the use of cryptocurrencies in India. The article titled, "Is India Done with Crypto?" reports that internet service providers in India are blocking apps like Binance that are flagged as operating illegally in the country. This is bad news for the crypto industry as it indicates further regulatory crackdowns and restrictions on the use of cryptocurrencies in India. The article titled, "Is India Done with Crypto?" reports that internet service providers in India are blocking apps like Binance that are flagged as operating illegally in the country. This is bad news for the crypto industry as it indicates further regulatory crackdowns and restrictions on the use of cryptocurrencies in India. The article titled, "Is India Done with Crypto?" reports that internet service providers in India are blocking apps like Binance that are flagged as operating illegally in the country. This is bad news for the crypto industry as it indicates further regulatory crackdowns and restrictions on the use of cryptocurrencies in India.
Richard Rubin has good news. President Biden and Republicans have different plans for handling tax cuts that lapse after 2025.
Stella Yifanshi has bad news. Deflation worries are deepening in China, with fears that China will try to export its way out of trouble, raising trade tensions.
Andrew Duran, Lawrence Norman, and Max Colchester have bad news. Western officials are considering ways to seize Russian funds without spooking international investors to back loans to Ukraine.
Nick Timiros has bad news. The Fed posted its largest annual operating loss of $114 billion last year as a result of efforts to stimulate the economy and stamp out inflation. Chip Cutter and Natasha Khan have bad news. Companies from Amazon to BlackRock are still cutting white-collar jobs, showing a push to do more with less. Edward Glazer has good news. There was justice in public spending to reduce economic inequality during the pandemic, but the question arises if less should have been spent.
The news is predominantly focused on various companies and their financial performance, as well as market trends. The major headlines include: 1. Bank of America. The bank's profits fell by more than 50% due to one-time charges.
2. Citigroup. The company plans to cut 20,000 jobs, which would amount to about 10% of its workforce. 3. Wells Fargo. The bank's profits rose by 9% despite ongoing challenges.
4. JP Morgan. Despite a slip in quarterly earnings, the company posted a record annual profit.
5. Delta Airlines. The airline reported a jump in revenue and strong travel demand, but its stocks tumbled due to guidance and rising oil prices.
PepsiCo. No news or update mentioned. 7. Coinbase. No news or update mentioned. In summary, the week's news highlights mixed results for various companies, with some experiencing growth and others facing challenges. Fintech Promedio raises $13 million from PayPal, Samsung, and more to bring open banking to Latin America. This is good news for Fintech Promedio, as they have successfully raised $13 million in funding from major companies. This funding will help them expand their operations and bring open banking to Latin America.
Overmoon's vacation rental model aims to combine the best of both Airbnb or hotel. This is neutral news, as no specific company is mentioned. Overmoon is introducing a vacation rental model that combines the advantages of Airbnb and hotels. It remains to be seen how successful this model will be.
Peer banks $2.4 million to launch Stripe for credit. This is good news for Peer, as they have secured a funding of $2.4 million. This investment will help them launch their platform, which aims to simplify credit processes for developers. UK insurtech HyperExponential raises $73 million and eyes U.S. expansion. This is good news for HyperExponential, as they have successfully raised $73 million in funding and are planning to expand into the U.S. market. This funding will support their growth and expansion efforts. Down Payments wants to offer real estate investors interest-free financing. This is good news for Down Payments, as they are emerging from stealth mode with a mission to provide real estate investors with interest-free financing. This unique offering may attract investors and help the company gain traction in the market.
Artifact, the news aggregation startup from Instagram's founders, is shutting down. Bad news. The startup made the decision to wind down operations. This is bad news because it means that the startup was not able to sustain its business model and may have faced challenges in attracting enough users or generating sufficient revenue.
The pitch deck of Cortex, a video analytics firm, used to raise its $10 million seed round, has some missing elements, but does some things right. Mixed news. While there are some positive aspects of the pitch deck, the fact that it has missing elements suggests that there may be areas where the company's messaging or strategy needs improvement.
The authors of the article are attending CES in Las Vegas to explore the world of tech. This news does not specifically mention a company, so there is no direct impact on any particular company. It simply highlights that the authors are attending an industry event to gain insights into the tech sector.
Investors are now looking for AI startups that are more solid and viable. Mixed news. While this suggests a shift in investor preferences towards more stable and promising AI companies, it also implies that some AI startups may not meet the criteria of being solid and viable, signaling potential challenges for those companies.
Coast Runner will be launching a $2,400 CNC mill soon, indicating a positive outlook for the maker and hobbyist industry. Good news. This suggests that Coast Runner, as well as other light manufacturing companies, are experiencing positive opportunities and growth prospects in the market. Venture how to build a solid and profitable AI startup. Good news. This article provides guidance and tips on how to build a successful AI startup, indicating potential opportunities in the industry. NASDAQ CEO's comments about IPOs portend sunny skies ahead for the tech industry. Good news. The CEO of NASDAQ mentions that over 100 companies are preparing to go public, suggesting a positive outlook for the tech industry.
The search for better unit economics prompts consumer tech investors to shift focus. Good news. Investors are shifting their focus towards companies with better unit economics, indicating a potential shift towards more sustainable and profitable business models.
CES, circling back to IPOs and why we're over the moon about Overmoon, neutral news. This article mentions the podcast Equity and its roundtable discussion, but no specific news about any company is provided.
A comprehensive list of 2023 and 2024 tech layoffs. Bad news. The tech industry has experienced a significant number of layoffs in 2023 and 2024, indicating potential challenges and job losses in the sector.